I didn't fall in love slowly. I tripped, fell face first, and somehow apologized for it. It started on a Tuesday, which already felt suspicious. She spilled coffee on me, looked me straight in the eyes, and said, "Well, you really walked into that." No apology, no panic, just confidence. I laughed because apparently embarrassment is my love language. She helped me clean up, smiled once, and said, "Well, this was fun. See you never." Then she walked away. I stood there, soaked, confused, and smiling for no reason. People walked past me like nothing happened, while my shirt slowly turned brown. I didn't even get her name. 2 days later, I saw her again. Same cafe, same confidence, different outfit. She looked at me, paused, and said, "Oh no, it's coffee guy." I said, "You spilled on me." She smiled and said, "You walked into it." I hated how funny that sounded. We talked again, this time longer. She ordered a coffee, then looked at me and said, "Don't worry, I'll aim better this time." I told her my name, she told me hers, then immediately said, "I'm probably going to forget it." She told me she hated small talk, loved bad romantic movies, and once ghosted a guy because he chewed too loudly. I nodded like that was completely reasonable. I told her I got nervous easily, especially around people who scared me a little. She raised an eyebrow and said, "Good, that means you're paying attention." We exchanged numbers. I stared at my phone for 10 minutes, rewriting the same message, then deleting it. I finally sent, "Nice meeting you." She replied immediately, "Wow, bold move, coffee guy." I smiled at my phone like an idiot. Our first date was a disaster, which somehow made it perfect. I arrived 10 minutes early. She arrived 20 minutes late and blamed traffic, the weather, and Mercury in retrograde. I tried to impress her, knocked over my water, and laughed instead of panicking. She laughed too and said, "Relax, I've seen worse." That didn't make me feel better. At one point she asked, "You're not pretending to be cool, right?" I said, "No, this is me trying very hard." She smiled and said, "Good, I hate cool." We stayed longer than planned, talked about nothing important and everything at the same time. When we said goodbye, she didn't rush away. That felt like a win. Weeks passed, then months. We argued about music, laughed at jokes that weren't funny, and learned each other's silences. She stole food from my plate. I pretended to be mad, and she never apologized. Sometimes she went quiet, sometimes I did. But somehow, it always felt easy to come back, like we both knew where to find each other. One night, walking home, she suddenly stopped. I thought I'd said something wrong. She looked at me and said, "You know this started with coffee, right?" I nodded. She said, "I almost didn't talk to you that day." I asked why. She shrugged and said, "Because accidents scare me." Then she smiled. "But I'm glad this one happened." She kissed me quickly like it was no big deal. It was a very big deal. I stood there trying not to overthink it, failing immediately. She laughed and said, "You do that thing with your face when you panic." I asked what thing. She said, "That one." I realized then she was already paying attention to details I didn't notice about myself. Now, every time we pass that cafe, she smiles. And every time I see coffee, I remember something important. Sometimes love doesn't arrive perfectly, or on time, or the way you expect. Sometimes it spills a drink on you, blames you for it, and stays anyway. And somehow, that's exactly how you know it's real.